Back to Guerrera. He takes a shot. Scores! So nice, you better say it twice. Michael Anthony Guerrera. He gets intercepted here in a breakaway now for Fredonia coming in over the line. That's Valentin and on Silvas. They shoot, they score. Sweeney's going to jump that puck back. He gets leveled by Petit. And a possibility for the Red Dragons here. Ian Silv says, no, you don't. Nieminen, wrist shot, shoot, scores! Zach Nieminen from the point rips it home. And we are tied at 3. And absolutely, Vadim Vazhankin comes in to take this face-off. That'll be chipped right back into the Buffalo State zone for Nieminen. Nieminen will backhand that over to Michael Guerrera. Vazhankin will slope things down behind his net. Now he likes what he sees, and he'll creep out to center ice. Drop back to Guerrera. He gets intercepted here in a breakaway now for Fredonia coming in over the line. That's Valentin and on Silvas. They shoot, they score! And Coach Mert expressing his dislike in that one.
Well, that was almost a 2-on-0 for Fredonia on the penalty kill, and that's pretty rare. That is pretty rare to happen, and it was poor play, sloppy play there as Buffalo State was trying to capitalize. The rush down the Fredonia end, Nieminen, I mean, he's one of the best players on this Buffalo State team, but that was not a good play by him, and it's a terrible way to start the period, and head coach Steve Murphy's got to be very upset right now, because that is exactly the kind of thing that gets head coach Steve Murphy upset.
Silvas will come way out of his head to play the puck here. He gets caught out there, and little to no help on that one. And I hate those drop back passes. I hate when they pass it back instead of going forward. And that's what caught him on that one. It was just a good forecheck, and Fredonia was able to put it up there. So the goaltending change plus that early shorthanded goal.
Usually you only do that when you're sure that your player knows what, knows exactly what you're doing. Like, you don't want to do a drop pass unless you're 100% certain that you know that your teammate knows you're going to do it.
Reed Bibb is going to try to start this face-off, or beg your pardon, this power play right back in. Shot on the goaltender, it goes just wide, or beg your pardon, went off the leg. Knocked all the way back into the Buffalo State zone. Simons will chase back in after it. Fredonia making a quick change. 30 seconds to go here in the power play. Zach Reimers will come out of his own zone, but he'll leave it back there for Passero. Bibb trying to come away with it. That goes off the mask of Passero. And Ian Silves is going to slap it away. Back to the point. That shot taken by Fredonia goes just wide of the net. Fredonia putting on some heavy pressure here early on in this second period. Now the Blue Devils return to full strength. Gerhardsen will come out of the box. And we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Brody Power, the captain of the Bengals team. And now the bodies are flying here in the second period. It's going to be a heavy hitting game from this point on. Overskating the puck, and as a result of that, he goes offside. That was Valentin who couldn't control his own balance.
Well, Fredonia almost had another breakaway there as they got obviously a wild big guy to neutral zone, and I don't know what Buffalo State's doing here early on in this game, because usually they're a pretty rock-solid, sound team defensively. They have a swarm defense kind of style. So those kind of plays never happen to a team like that, but for some reason they're just letting open guys go in the neutral zone here for Fredonia, and it's already cost them with a goal on the penalty.
Back on the point, the Blue Devils keep that puck into the opposite zone. Rebounded shot that's going to be taken, goes off the goaltender Silvis and over to the corner. Slapped on the glass, taken down now, and away with it will come the Bengals. Nieminen with a toe drag, that shot goes just wide. Wilbur will chase in after for the Blue Devils, picked up now by Valentin. And we'll have an icing call coming up here with 17:25 in the second. 4-2 Bengals.
Obviously it's nice here to have former WDR personality Kevin Sylvester here. Obviously he is a Fredonia native. I mean, what have you been up to so far these days, Kevin?
Well, hanging out with Dan as much as I can, but I work for PGA Tour Radio, and I'll still have a golf show on WGR. We're starting that up March 31st again. So I spent a lot of as much time as possible on a golf course, either playing or announcing. Unfortunately, more announcing than playing.
You never want to see me on a golf course because I am terrible. So,
well, it's not about the play sometimes recreationally here. Is this game certainly, that opening goal, as you guys have mentioned, why the Devils shorthanded, has sparked them and has made it a hockey game once again.
Exactly what they needed.
Both teams are poking away at one another with their chosen lumber. Scooped out to center ice. That's going to miss everybody. Serta's just going to slap that in and go off on a change. Kept back there for Carlson. Gets it up to the wing. Bibb will intercept it. Bibb dancing around in the Fredonia zone looking for someone to pass to. Deep still with the puck. Shot from the point. Simons blasted it. It goes up and out of play.
Wasn't quite sure if that went out of play or not, but they decided to blow the whistle as it did hit the netting. But there's a little piece of the netting there right at the top of the glass. So I doubt that went out of play, but better safe than sorry since they did see the net move, so they decided to blow the play dead.
It's one of the great things, guys, about college hockey. NHL rinks, they're all the same. It's homogenous now. But college rinks, they all got the little idiosyncrasies, including the walkways up behind the goal.
Fredonia is going to regain possession now inside of their own zone. Brought back out to center ice is Morgan. Colin O'Connor slaps it off the boards. Out for Young at center ice. He'll scoop it right back into the Bengals zone. Simons leaves it back there for Passero. Back over for Cody Simons. He'll backhand it over to Vadim Vezhankin. And a penalty coming up here, and Vezhankin's going to go. Or perhaps Reed Bibb.
Well, we'll see here in a
Nevertheless,
second. It's going to be a tripping call no matter what.
Fredonia will head to the power play. And that is going to be... Nope, the wrong guy went.
Nobody wants to admit they did it, fellas. That's the...
Well, nobody's gone to the box yet, so I don't know who this has gone to.
Yeah. Now they're trying to sort this out. You already have 4 guys out there. So,
yep, that is Vezhankin who will go.
Tried to sneak his way onto the bench. It's hard to hide when you're Vadim Vezhankin because he's one of the taller guys on the team.
We are going to take a taste of this Fredonia power play for the first time in this game. Look out, Coach, as that puck goes right into the Fredonia bench.
Did you notice, though, Coach Meredith didn't even flinch from Fredonia?
No.
He's seen so many of them over the 30 years. He knows what's going to hit him and what's not going to hit him.
He's like, I know that's going to be about 10 inches to my left. I don't have to move a muscle.
If you get a chance, I'll tell you, one of the most memorable interviews I've ever done with anybody was with him.
Longtime coach for the Blue Devils. Back on the point is Gerhardsen. Back up to Wilbur. He takes an off-angled shot, and Silvas is there to gobble it up.
So the Blue Devils, when I was there, they went to the Frozen Four 2 years in a row. And my senior year, they made the national championship game, Division III, against Middlebury, Vermont, who went on a great run there. We're playing in Middlebury. They lost the game 1-0. 1-0. Jason Sirota played a great game in goal, and it was in the final 3 minutes they scored. And I had the duty to interview him. I'd certainly let Dan call it if anything was happening right now, folks. I had a chance to interview him after the game, and just to see his heartbreak and feel his heartbreak, something I'll never forget. It was immediately after the game, live on the air. It's the most emotional I've ever had somebody in my 20-plus years of working in professional broadcasting as an interview subject. It was Coach Meredith. Understandably so. They just lost the national championship.
1-0 too with 3 minutes left in the game. Can't think of a more heartbreaking way to lose.
Gerhardsen will track it back into his own zone. Behind Bogart, he will take a slingshot behind his own zone. That's Tracy who gets that puck up the wing. So, circling around the Buffalo State, now looking for someone to pass to. Both teams meet inside the far corner. Tracy with it once more. Back to the point for Leonard. He takes a shot from the point. That's deflected in front, but it does not go. Rebound, his shot goes just wide. They don't shoot. Now they do. That goes off the leg. Nieminen clears it away, and a one-on-one. Here comes Nieminen. Nieminen comes in over the line, putting on the brakes, looking for someone to pass to. Just killing off time here. 20 seconds left to go in the penalty to Vezhankin. 14-20 left to go in the second period. The Blue Devils will take that puck over through center ice, looking for someone to pass to. Leonard will take it off the boards and go off on a change. Brody Power tries to scoop it free. That goes around, not out, and away come the Bengals. Vezhankin out of the box for Butcher. Butcher shoots! And that's going to be absorbed by Bogart, and we're going to have a face-off coming up here 13:54 left to go here in the second.
Well, Butcher got the look he wanted there in the 2-on-1, but unfortunately he shot it right in the middle of the Fredonia goaltender, Bogart, and there was a little question mark of whether or not the puck slipped by him, but he did have it, so face off to the right of the Fredonia goaltender, but nice break there for Buffalo State.
Anthony Pissarro comes in to take this face off. Butcher with a shot goes over the top of the net. Taken away by Basilio. O'Connor will dump that over to the open wing. Simons will have to chase back in after it. Simons slaps it off the glass. It's left back there. Both teams are falling for it. And brought back out now by Butcher. O'Connor coming in to press as he'll have somebody take his place at the blue line. Brought right back through neutral ice. That'll be Dunn. Dunn comes in over the line. Takes a shot. Excellently done. Simons blocks it. Key defensive play to knock the puck off his stick. And here comes a breakaway now for Reimers and over the line. The shot gets kicked away by Bogart.
What a pass by Pissarro.
Pissarro with a heads-up opportunity there. Reimers was all by himself, and Bogart was able to come up with the task. Spugnardi off the glass. That doesn't go for Jelinski. Spugnardi with it once again. Tries to get it out. Can't do so. Butcher keeps it in. Vajankin puts on the brakes for someone to pass to. That goes over the stick of Reimers. He'll have to chase back after it. Jelinski gives that puck away. Zach is able to pick it off. Wood coming in over the line. Here comes Reed Bibb. Bibb over the line. Backhand. He scores! There's a whistle here. I don't know if it was for the end of the play or not, but it is 5-2 Bengals.
Well, the call on the ice was a goal as Reed Bibb had a breakaway, and he was able to gently put it by the goaltender, and I guess it squeaked over the line. I mean, there was a delayed reaction on whether or not the puck went in the net.
That's the second time that it's been a delay to wait for, something, because, it's hard for us up here in the booth to call it when you can't see it.
And Jelinski,
so I have to wait for the arm to come out, and then when you see it, you call it.
And number 14 for Fredonia, Jelinski's getting a cross-checking penalty at the end of the play, too. So not only do they allow the goal, but they're going to go down on the man advantage here, unfortunately, for Fredonia, as they got to kill off a penalty now.
So a double whammy, a little bit of venom. 5-2 Bengals. 12:30 to go in the second period. And what we thought was going to be an interesting period, I lied. It's a very interesting period still. However, what the goal changed by Fredonia, the goal right off the start of the period, shorthanded, we believed that Fredonia had a spark, and they did. But they got caught by a heavy forecheck by the Bengals, and now they have regained their 3-goal lead. Zach Nieminen back to the point. Wood will dump it in. He's met there by Young. Young and Butcher. Both teams hacking away at one another. That puck is jammed. The referee telling him to keep it in play, otherwise he will blow the whistle. It moved about a millimeter. Now it goes around again. Both teams still hacking for one another. And finally, play will be called. We'll have a face-off coming up here. 11:41 left to go in the second period. 5-2 Bengals.
Some time killed there by the Fredonia players there in the penalty kill. They got a whistle, so that was a success. Kill as much time as you can off the penalty.
Chris, we've known Coach Murph for a long time here. I have to admit, for a divisional game where he's got a 3-goal lead, I've never seen him as vocal as I have today. And usually when he's got a 3-goal lead, he's very quiet and reserved to himself, and he's the one directing traffic out there. One-time shot by Simons and scores! Top of the circle and put it on the scoreboard, folks. 6-2 Bengals on the power play again.
Cody Simons, he's redeeming himself a little bit for scoring that goal, as he's the guy that cost Buffalo State the first goal of the game by the Fredonia Blue Devils. They tied at 1-1, but Cody Simons with a nice wrist shot there. Cody Simons is probably the quietest guy in the entire Buffalo State roster.
No, that would be Ian Silvas, trust me.
I don't know, because I've had 6 players on the podcast back at WBNY, and I'm like, who's the quietest player on the team? They all said Cody Simons.
I just want to say Silvas needs to add a T, E, and R on the end of his name there. I mean, it was like an ancestor of mine. I got 3 letters chopped off there. Great shot, face-off win there for the goal.
And this game has been nothing except interesting here so far.
8 goals halfway through the game.
Yeah. Fredonia battling away for it. They're going to dump it over to the open wing. Shot taken from the point that goes off a body, does not go through to the goaltender. Polachek looking for someone to pass to, intercepted. And away with it now will come the Bengals. Serta comes in over the line. He and Tulipaine. Serta shoots. That goes off the blocker of Bogart. Polachek is checked in behind the boards. Beautifully done by Serta, who's got one of the goals for the Bengals this evening. His first in Division III career. Michael Anthony Guerrero will take it back into his own zone. Passed up to Stainer. Here comes Hugo Petit over the line. Petit takes a shot, goes off a leg and wide. Both teams will go back into the corner looking for it. Hugo Petit will come away the victor of that battle. Out in front! That doesn't go anywhere. John Colley holds it in. He is knocked down by the blue line, gets right back up. Kept in over the line. Now here's Petit in the slot. Back over the rebound. Oh, that goes off the side of the net. I was about to say they scored, but the net moved, but the puck did not go in. Both teams, and we're going to have a penalty coming up here, and we have a little bit of a skirmish going on in the corner.
Well, that's John Colley that got knocked there.
That's Zach Nieminen who's coming in here to make that call. I believe the penalty to Fredonia as a result.
Well, Don Colley's one of these players of Buffalo State where he kind of has a reckless abandon, I guess you could say, for his body, where he doesn't really care if he gets hit. Sometimes that gets him into trouble because he takes big shots along the boards, and that time he definitely did, and Buffalo State did not like it, sticking up for their teammates. And it looks like Ryder will go again for a second penalty of the game.
And the referees are going to grab both captains of their respective teams over here because I think this is going to be their warning here. They've seen enough chirping. They've seen enough hacking at one another. The twigs are flying in the air everywhere. And we're about halfway through this game thus far, and I think the referee's just going to let them know, okay, if you guys don't knock it off, we're going to start calling penalties.
By the way, guys, I didn't know I came to the Patriots-Jaguars game here. As far as the penalties are being called here tonight. Frustration, obviously, by Fredonia being down 6-2.
Absolutely.
The Blue Devils coming into the Buffalo State zone. They are on the penalty kill. 10 minutes to go here. We are halfway through this game here at the Buffalo State Ice Arena. All by himself is Colin Valentine, and finally taken away by the Bengals. Reimers will lead the charge outside of his own zone. Drop back over to Reed Bibb. Bibb is heavily checked, but passed up over to Passero. Stainer keeping it in. Can't get a good piece of work on it. Dumped right back into the Bengals zone. Silvas is directing traffic for Reimers. Jelinski coming in there. Reimers with it once more. He creeps out of his own zone, looking for someone to pass to. He circles back. 1 minute to go here in the penalty to Fredonia. Looking for his team to get set up. Now he likes what he sees, so he'll creep out of his own zone once again. Michael Anthony Guerrero, who's going to come in. He's going to act like a two-way defenseman here. Bibb comes in over the line, and we're going to have a whistle here. Maybe
offside.
Offside, maybe?
Yep, it was an offside. Linesman sticking out his arm there to signal that the puck will be dropped on the...
We talked about Michael Guerrero at the beginning of this game as one of the guys to step up since Michalski's been out hurt, because that's something that Michalski would like to do. He'd come in over the line as like a two-way offensive defenseman. Guerrero coming in doing the exact same thing. Oh, and they score! Kevin, the look on your eye said it all. I don't think anybody here expected that one. That one,
including Silvas,
was a knuckle-pucking floater. I'm speechless.
It was a floater from the blue line, went right over the glove. The rotation of the puck and that knuckle puck, as you appropriately called it, fooled Silvas.
I think sometimes if you're a goaltender too, the puck is knuckling like that. I don't think Silvas anticipated how high that puck was going to go, and he put his glove down, and it went just slightly higher than he thought, and it came in so fast that it was too late.
Well, that's twice now that Fredonia has scored a shorthanded goal, and that is twice that they've tried to get something going with the Bengals getting another one. So let's see if the Bengals get another one.
They're taking all the penalties, Dan. They're taking all the penalties because they're scoring on shorthanded goals.
Exactly. So if you're Coach Meredith, you probably don't know what's going on here. You can't score 5-on-5, but yet you can score with a man down. So interesting turn of events here so far in this second period. But every time Fredonia has scored shorthanded, Buffalo State a couple minutes later has put another one up on the board. So let's see what happens here. Cody Simons over to Bibb. He'll slap that puck in and go after it. That is Stainer who will chase in on Carlson. Passed out in front. Passero is trying to slow down the bouncing puck. And Brody Power is going to come in. There's a 3-on-1. Shot goes just wide. Brody Power is there to cut off the angle. Anthony Pissarro with it now. Still with the puck in front of the Fredonia zone. Or Fredonia bench, rather, excuse me. That puck on Ian Silves will go over to Brody Power. Up through neutral ice. And Chris, this is the most amount of goals I've seen Silves give up, I think, since the Brockport game back in November.
And luckily for him and for Buffalo State, they've scored 6 goals already just over halfway through the game. So his teammates are the ones who are bailing him out.
Rebounded shot that goes off the leg. That is Reed Bibb, who is slow at getting up. Fredonia circling around inside of their own zone. I beg your pardon, it's the Buffalo State zone. Too many goals. I'm losing track of who's in what zone now.
And as great as Silvis has played too during the season, I mean, every goaltender, no matter how good you are going to have games, are going to have goals where they're pretty weak, and you just got to hope that your teammates help and bail you out. And so far, the Bengals have done that.
Simons inside of the Buffalo State zone over to Troy Button. He gets that puck up along the wing. Here comes Hugo Petit. He shakes off a brutal hit there. No harm done. Shoveled right back into the Bengals zone. We're going to have an icing coming up here. Well, it is 6:46 left to go here in the second period. 6-3 Bengals. This is the Battle of the Lake here at the Buffalo State Ice Arena.
Fredonia is about a 50-minute drive, and Dan and Justin Lamont and Kyle Fallon will make that drive tomorrow night, as both these teams will play again, as a little road broadcast is always fun.
Tulipaine wins it. Stainer, he can't knock it down. Away with it now come the Blue Devils. Chipped over the line. That's Basilio. Dumped right back in. That's going to go off the blocker of Silvis. Up and out of play.
I know Dan knows this, Chris, but did you know who Buff State played? Which team they played the first game ever here?
Ooh.
It was Fredonia.
Wow.
The very first game. And a couple of classmates and I, we got to announce the game. The very first game here when Buffalo State started the program, and the first coach was Brian Dickinson, who of course now is at Brockport. He was the first coach here at Buffalo State, followed by Chet Fowler. Just trying to get all the Fredonia connections in here to Buffalo State here. But great arena, and it's great to see what this program has become from then, those initial starts there from Coach Dickinson to become a factor in the SUNYAC.
And I always love, too, when Buffalo State plays these teams like Fredonia, teams like Brockport. I mean, these schools are only, like an hour away from the Buffalo City area, so obviously that just breeds a rivalry factor.
Ryan Stainer chips that puck up to Guerrera, gets it up along the wing. Serta shakes off a check. That puck goes right back in on Ian Silvis, who leaves it there for Troy Button. Guerrera gets that puck up. Tulipaine knocks off another check. Paul Serta will come away with another one. He'll scoop it in, and his team will go off on a change. Here comes Fredonia now in over the line. Shakes off one of his men. That's going to be Basilio, who's going to come in. He gets knocked off the puck by Wood, but it's not out of the zone. Pissarro will shovel it over to Guerrera. Up along the wing, he finds Reimers once again. There's that long pass full in effect there. He and Spagnardi are going to have a battle behind the net. Dumped over to the open wing. Pissarro tries to get something going here. Both teams hacking away at one another. That's Freeman, who can't get it around. Butcher is checked. He loses his lumber. Back to the point. Brody Power doesn't shoot. Gets it over to Butcher. Butcher on the off angle. That went up and it deflected. It went out of play. 5:05 to go here in the second period.
I forgot Coach Carrier also, who was assistant at Fredonia, then head coach here at Buffalo State.
So clearly the SUNYAC coaches find one another here from school to school.
You know what, though? This league is really, I tell you, that the quality of hockey has gotten much better over the years because of players coming down from juniors. It used to be, 20 years ago, there weren't as many D1 programs, so you had athletes that are now in D1 schools that are playing all over the place. So now it's the junior players, when their junior career's over, coming down and playing the SUNYAC. So you still have quality players here in Division III.
That puck is going to be deflected right in on Bogart. He's going to cover up with a face-off coming up here.
Speaking of juniors, too, the head coach for Buffalo State, Steve Murphy, I mean, he's so young, and I think his system works really well, and he's a guy that I think is going to get a junior job one day, and who knows, maybe he can go on to the ECHL or maybe the AHL, because I think he's that good of a coach.
His predecessor already has a job in the minor leagues.
Yep.
Deflected out in front. That's an air puck, knocked down by Simons. Kept in around the boards. Carlson tries to kick it out. Kept in by Bibb. Over to Wood with the one-timer that's kicked aside. Vazhankin, who scored the very first goal of this game, leaves it back there on point for Cody Simon. Doesn't shoot. Vazhankin with it again. He dances around the blue line. He gets knocked down, gets back up again. Back to the point for Simons. Doesn't like it. Gives it over to Colley. Simons still with it on point. Over to Bibb. On Colley. That's going to be deflected right up on Bogart, and he's going to glove it down. Dangerous play there on the point. That puck was almost going to hop over the line and on an offside.
I think it's been a great game so far by Estonia native Vadim Vazhankin. He's been all around the ice so far. It took him a while to get going early on in the season. I talked with head coach Steve Murphy. He needed a big adjustment period because, again, he had never been to the Buffalo area. He's a freshman here. You know, he's only lived in America for a few years now. So I just think it took a while for him to get adjusted.
Well, he's got the accent down, so that's good.
Oh, absolutely.
Both teams hacking away for it in the near corner. Taken away. Colley's trying to chase after it, but Young for Fredonia will get there first. Hugo Petit at center ice. He'll shovel it in. He'll try to chase in after it. Leonard is there to cut off the angle. Back to the point for Guerrera. He is knocked out from behind, and he is slow at getting up. And he's going to have to answer to Troy Button, as he did not like that. Guerrera still on his knees, and of course, one of the Brothers of Destruction, the Eminent, is all over his man.
That was a blindside hit. And Guerrera leads the team in points, and that's not what you want to see to your leading point getter. Been arguably the best offensive defensive so far here in the SUNYAC this season.
And as a result, Troy Button's going to go to the gate as well.
We'll see what the penalty calls here, but if it's even, I mean, it's tough because you want the power play, but at the same time, you like seeing a guy like Troy Button. He's a freshman. He hasn't played all the games this season. He feels he needs to step up there for his... I mean, he's the guy that he's paired with, Michael Anthony Guerrera, and you got to stick up for him there. So
they're still chirping in this box. Look at the two of them.
Yep. I had Troy on the podcast back before Christmas, and he's definitely a funny guy. So I can only imagine what he's saying down there.
Well, I'm going to be a little bit curious as to what's going to happen here, because that was a hit from behind. It was really, it was your blind side. I don't know if this is going to be a 2 here or a 4-on-4.
I would think they'd give Fredonia an extra 2 here because of the hit, and then you had the altercation over here on the side, and they ignored the whistle from the referee to stop.
Well, they opened up both penalty boxes here. I wonder if both members are going to be gone here.
Well, Dunner could be getting 5.
Which wouldn't surprise me, but I don't understand why Button's going to go.
Well, it could be just a thing to get control of the game here and doing it. And
Troy Button's had a lot of words there for the referee going off. So
well, you know what? Listen, he talked to these guys earlier in the period when this was getting real chippy. So Kevin, like you said, this is probably the warning. They already talked to them before and said this gets out of hand. And as much as I may not agree with the call that's going to Button, a message is being sent here by the officials. Mm-hmm. So Troy Button had a very good game so far. Well, I'm sure Coach Murph will have maybe some few words for that one as he's talking to the officials right now.
I tend to do this because I'm old. So is Troy Craig's son by chance? Craig Button, the former GM of the Calgary Flames?
I thought about that. I never asked him. I don't think he is, but I mean, they're both Canadian. They both have the last name Button. You would think.
Well, there's more than one Button in Canada.
Yeah,
that's for
I
sure.
would. So
but I just asked because Craig works out of Ontario and asked the question. But again, I do that because I'm old. Anybody who has a last name, anybody last name James, I ask if it's LeBron's kid, basketball. But that's not always the case.
Well, interesting snippet here. They're giving the 5-minute penalty to Button.
And 5 minutes to Fredonia, too. They both got 5.
So they're both giving a 5-minute game misconduct, so that makes a little bit more sense. Well, it looks like Coach Murphy is going to have to send somebody into the box to cover, and it looks like it's going to be Anthony Tulepane.
Now, I think this will favor Fredonia, this 4-on-4 right now, because they've scored with 4 men on the ice twice here. And they need the next goal to stay in this game. If Buffalo State gets the next goal, it'll just keep extending that lead, and it'll be too much to overcome. But if they can get it with it in 2 when they go into the intermission, then they've got a chance in this one.
And Buffalo's down to 5 defensemen now because Fredonia, the guy that got kicked out, is a forward, and Buffalo had a defenseman thrown out, Troy Button. So they're down to 5 defensemen now, so that's even more pressure on guys like Brody Power and Michael Anthony Guerrera to step up here.
I think what Coach Rivers is trying to argue is that if he was going to get a 5 and then a 2-minute extra just because of how the hit went, but it appears that the dust has settled from this. We're going to have a 4-on-4. Both teams get a 5-on-5 game misconduct. And the first shot from this 4-on-4 will go to the Fredonia Blue Devils. That was Ryan Dunn who executed that shot. Michael Guerrera gets it over to Brody Power. Guerrera is going to take it back once more. He'll leave it back behind his own net for Brody Power. Finds Pissarro. Both the captain and the alternate on the ice for this I guess should say even strength 4-on-4. And over the line is Reimers. He comes in on the backhand, but he is slowly knocked off the puck by Leonard. He gets checked along the boards. Nothing will come of this. No harm done. Guerrera is there to tie up his man, and we're going to have a penalty coming up here. And they're going to call holding the stick here. Guerrera does not like that call, and
that's another defenseman gone. And that's one of your best players gone as well. So,
and there's that man of few words, Coach Murph. They're just nonchalantly sipping his drink.
That's going to be a 4-on-3 power play for a solid 2 minutes at least, unless Fredonia can score.
This is what Kevin was talking about. Now they got 4 players, we have 3, so.
One more point, they need a goal to be in this game with all that's gone on here in what's been an announcer's dream of a second period for sure. Yeah. You've had everything here.
Garhartson over to Morgan. That's going to bouncing puck again, goes back out to center ice. Fredonia will have to tag up. Shoveled over to the open wing. The Blue Devils will take it in over the line. That's Polachek. He'll dump it in. Polachek with O'Connor shortly on him. Back for Garhartson. A lot of traffic in front. Over to Morgan. He takes an off-angled shot that goes off a leg and wide. Polachek will regain possession. Garhartson. That does not come out over the line. Kept in by the Blue Devils. Pass out in front. There's nobody home. Keeping it in is Garhartson. He'll leave it back over. That is Wilbur. Wilbur doesn't shoot. Wilbur with it once again. Now he takes the shot that's going to be deflected off the pad of Silvas. Morgan around with it now. He is checked there by O'Connor. Knocked around, and Buffalo State will finally regain possession. And a 2-on-1 possible coming up here. Vezhankin shoots. That goes right into the chest of Bogart.
That was Don Colley there.
John Colley, I beg your pardon.
Colley's probably the most reliable penalty kill forward the Buffalo State has. That's pretty much his bread and butter, what he does on this team. And give a lot of credit to the Colin O'Connor because he outfought 3 Fredonia players on the boards to get that puck, and that's how Buffalo State got the 2-on-1 chance.
Well, we've got 1:30 left to go here. Exactly 90 seconds to go in the second period. 48 seconds left to go to the penalty to Guerrera, and a 6-3 score. So this game has been everything. It's been phenomenal in my full opinion. Stay tuned here after this period. We're going to have Chris Bass go down to have a word with Coach Murph, and Buffalo State once again will dump this puck back into the Fredonia zone. Bogart will come out to play it. He will leave it back there for his compatriot defenseman. Brought out for Jelinski. He comes out over the line. Jelinski will chase back in after it. He is tracked heavily by Nieminen. Back on the point now. They take a shot that's deflected wide of Silvas. He comes out with a big pad. Ryder. He's dancing around inside of the Buffalo State zone. He takes a shot, goes over the top of the net. Guerrera's going to come out of the box. We're back to 4-on-4 hockey. 40 seconds to go here in the second period. Ryder is there. Guerrera knocks him off the puck. Kept in by the Blue Devils. Chasing it around now. Ryder with it once more. Ryder on the point, looking for someone to pass to. He overshoots the puck. Brody Power is there to confuse his man. Out in front, Power is there to regain possession. A mini collision, no harm done. And here comes Michael Anthony Guerrero. Winds up and shoots. That goes off the left shoulder of Bogart. Jelinski will dump that puck in. Silvas will come out, and that's going to do it here in the second period.